The whole beast, milk and welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Ah!
Yeah, for the average person, this is kind of the message that they get from Oliver Anthony, because they say, you know what, this is good. This is making a lot of sense. It's relatable. It's true. It's honest. It's authentic. You know what I'm saying? But there are some people in the world, they're going to find an issue even with a song like this that is calling people to come together. It's not so much a political song. It's a song for the people at the bottom that are just appealing and talking about those at the top. Okay, so this is the grassroots movement. This is the populist movement. This is the song of the people in America who love their country and hate the fact that we are being taxed and overwhelmed by those at the top. It's true. So is that a bad thing? No, but some people still manage to find a problem with that. Let me share some videos with you from what I found.
We switched this ginger. Now, mind you, this is a white guy, ginger beard. Shave that, bruh. Let me give you a word of advice. Shave that. That's disgusting. You have gingivitis coming from your chin. That's gross. Do not reproduce. But that's a different story. Nevertheless, let's say we switch this guy for a black guy. Now, and this black guy is singing this song. What have I heard since I've been knee-high to a duck my entire life from the Republican Party, from white conservatives? If a black man sang this song talking about, I've been working all day for bullcrap pay, what would they have said? I can tell you. Oh, look at you always complaining, all right? Look at you just complain. That's all y'all do is just complain, all right? If you have a problem with the pay, then get another job, all right? It's simple as that. Just get another job. Or you know what? Get a promotion, all right? Start lifting yourself up by the bootstraps and stop being a victim, okay? Stop complaining. But no, we don't hear that. And that's what's irritating to me. Because I'm like, this is nothing more than a victimhood mentality song.
Are you crazy?
That's a stretch. It's utterly unnecessary. Utterly unnecessary. Victimhood mentality song. I personally don't believe that. That's just nonsense. Listen, you can share your perspective and talk about the way you feel about what's going on in the country. And if it is true, that's not a victimhood mentality. That is actually being human. That is being human. There's nothing here that's either a white man having a victimhood mentality. That's not really what it is. But it amazes me, though, that some of these individuals are able to find something wrong with the song, even when there's really nothing wrong with the song. So this goes to show is either they are politically motivated, or it's either, sometimes there's also a spirit that I see on YouTube. Anything that conservatives approve, liberals, or should I say leftists, some Democrats just have an issue with it. If the conservative love it, they hate it. Even though they may know it's true, but as long as conservatives support it, they're like, I want nothing to do with it. It's like this level of hatred and division that's going on. And some of it, I think, is just for the YouTube audience. So sometimes I think this man's argument was more like, I want people on YouTube to look at me and think I'm cool and I'm different. I would have a fresh perspective on things. It's fine. I think you can, but it's not impressive. It just sounds silly, and childish. But anyway, let's go to the next thing.
Cover your faces! Cover your eyes!
Like, pay attention to the line that the title is named after. He's drawing lines there, not just class lines, as he's framing himself and everybody else listening to and relating to the song as poor and your average person, working class. Mind you, this guy lives on 90 acres from what I understand, but that's neither here nor there, or maybe it is, whatever. But more specifically, he's drawing a geographical line here as well, between North and South, using Richmond, Virginia as that dividing line. With that, you can't ignore the elephant in the room. He's like bringing up old, bitter North-South ideological disconnections that go back to the Civil War era. Drawing this North-South line and claiming that it's those people from the north that want to control us and tell us what to do. There's a lot of really bad and toxic and often bigoted political baggage that comes with that North v South binary. And also on top of it, it literally has nothing to do with the economic struggles that he's singing about in the first portion of the song. Rich men north of Richmond are not the sole reason that you're struggling economically. It's the exploitative and solely profit-driven market system we currently live under, which is hurting everyone all over the country, regardless of what side of the Mason-Dixon line you land on.
You're out of your mind.
The arguments are so flawed. Again, the fact he deviated from the original message of the man to create something that had nothing to do with the actual message as a whole shows the level of either hypocrisy or political motivation that is behind the argument. Sounds well spoken, though. I could tell you what, this guy's well spoken. However, when you're listening to what he's saying, it's like a little child that is complaining over nothing. It's very childish again. That's not the message that Oliver Anthony was speaking about. And the argument is just not, it's so incoherent. It's like you're stretching the matter beyond his original intent. And I think that is not right.
I'll ignore that.
Wanna know what you do?
Please don't shit on this man. Look at the other verse. I wish politicians would look out for minors and not just minors on an island somewhere. Lord, we got folks on the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds. Young men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground because all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down.
I can't wait to see what kind of issue like this individual makes out of it. Let me see.
Hey, man, please don't shit on this guy. He's got some good ideas. It's against welfare queens despite farmers being the most subsidized American industry. I mean, he's not even a farmer. He very much, most likely, if he lives in Appalachia, which he seems to be living in Appalachia, he probably does not have a job. Like many people in that region don't have a job because they used to work in coal mines and no longer can work in coal mines because of automation or because, woke liberalism has eviscerated the coal mining industry. Living in Alabama right now and everyone here has a boner for this song. Let me pick up my banjo and cry because motherfuckers out here getting snapped. Yeah, bro, if you're that poor, okay, if you're a poor guy living in this region, how in the ever-loving are you shitting on other poor guys? You're literally like, oh, man, I hate the rich people defending pedophiles. Fine. On board with that message. That's good. And then immediately he's like, you know who's real bad? A different kind of poor guy. I hate how poor I am and how the rich have fucked me over. But you know what I hate more than that? A different kind of poor guy. Poor guy down the street.
Okay.
Oh, that's just pathetic. That's just sad. Like, that wasn't... All right, you can argue against the statement, the whole obese milking welfare kind of thing, right? You can say that's rude, that doesn't seem to be nice, but the statement is true. It's not so much an argument against poor people. It's just a true statement that poor people can abuse the system. And it takes away from those that are working, the working class. That's not hard to understand. I don't know what the confusion is about. I guess some people are just really good at making something out of nothing, or they're just so good at distorting the message. And I think it was sad to watch. I mean, the average person, like myself, we listen to the song, we're like, stuff is good. This is amazing. This is a great message. It's relatable. It's true. But I guess some liberals, I will say fascistic in their thinking or socialist in their thinking because they have an issue with this system that we are under. I'm not sure if there's a better economic system than capitalism, because socialism has not worked anywhere else. Now somebody's gonna say, well, it's because they haven't done it right. Okay, you go ahead and do it right then. Do it right in your own little country. But no, that's been an issue ever since, and that's a problem until today. So I think Oliver Anthony is on point. There's nothing there for anybody to be having a fit about. And I think part of the arguments here that are being presented is completely unnecessary. The song make a lot of sense. People are relating to it. And the man is traveling the world doing what he does. He rejected $8 million. That tells you a lot about the man's character. There's nothing here that's conspiracy theory. I'm so glad they have not been able to call it racist, but they're still able to find something wrong with it. It amazes me. But I guess it's just the way it is. I even heard some Christians as well, some Christian ministers and some others who are saying that song is evil because it has a few bad words in it. I don't condone the bad words. I think it's not good to ever use bad words. But we live in the real world, though. This is the real world. I don't say it. You're not going to find my videos where I'm cussing and things like that. That's not my nature. And I know what God says about that. That no corrupt communication should proceed out of my mouth. I have no issue accepting that reality. But if you're condemning the entire song as a Christian because of a few bad words that are in it, I say you're making the same mistake that the liberals are making. You're finding a niche, you're finding a little dot, you're finding a little period that you have an issue with instead of looking at the overarching theme of the message. That is not a good way to look at and assess anything. Now, isn't it relatable that the rich men and north of Richmond are impacting you as a Christian? That's true. Like, being a Christian, we're not in a vacuum. What the world goes through, we suffer. Okay, everything that goes on in the world, it has an impact on us. Rich men north of Richmond decided to lock down and tell people to put on masks and so on, right? And the media did their work. Didn't we feel that experience, even us today? Didn't we feel a segment of that? Didn't our churches get closed? Didn't our members were their lives impacted? Didn't COVID-19 had an influence on us and the mandates and policies that came down from Richmond, north of Richmond? Yes, what the world went through, we went through. We suffer through their pains as well. So if the man put a song out that is ministering to the heart of the people, you can benefit from that. And I will say, it's another failure as a Christian. If you go after the things that are wrong in a song and fail to look at the original message, you fail to get into the heart of the message, you miss your opportunity to minister the gospel. Because there are many hearts that are open as a result of a song like this. There are some people they may not come to your church, but they might go and listen to Oliver Anthony. There is something in theology known as redemptive analogy. You have to learn how to use that which is best suitable to open the door, the key. Take the key from Oliver Anthony. Open the door of the hearts of humanity and proclaim the gospel. While people are listening to Oliver Anthony, you can make a connection to the song and introduce the gospel at the heart of your message. That's what I do all the time. So anyway, much more could be said. I want to say to the liberals who are going after Oliver Anthony, I think your arguments are flawed and incoherent, and it's obvious that you are motivated by some political perspective, and it's completely unnecessary. For the Christians who have an issue with Oliver Anthony's song, I say tone down a little bit. Learn to understand the language of the culture. You don't have to be like the world, but you are in the world. You can yet be of the world, and yet you can relate to the people of the world. Okay, so God is not calling us to be some hermit living in a cave somewhere, but God is calling us to be human. So part of that is it means to come down to people's level, speak their language, and meet them where they are. You don't have to be tempted and overwhelmed. If you have your eyes fixed on Jesus, you know your mission and purpose. It doesn't matter. You can make the connection and share the gospel. Take advantage of the door that's been left wide open for you. That's my thought and perspective of that. Anyway, let me know what you think. I'm not going to share a Bible verse. I think Oliver Anthony is a gift. I wish him the very best. Listening to his story is overcoming a lot. He's becoming a Christian. And the man opened his show reading the Bible. I give that man some godly respect, and I wish him the very best. You're not going to find me among those who are criticizing him, because he is definitely a gift. Anyway, that's my thought and perspective on that. Some of you may agree and disagree. Let me know in a comment below. Share, link in the description below. Share your thought and perspective with me. Like and subscribe to the page, click the bell icon for more. Let's have a good one. Bye.